Hey guys, welcome to Efficient User once again. Thanks for all the support you guys are giving. I have come up with another interesting video about a FlexBox CSS. So in this video, we are going to see what is FlexBox, why FlexBox, and what are the properties available in FlexBox, and a little demo about those some of those properties. Let's get started. What is FlexBox? FlexBox is otherwise called as a flexible box layout model. So this CSS box model is created for making the user interface design for the optimized streets. Like it has a lot of advantages when compared to other CSS box models. So one of the main thing is like it will distribute the extra spaces available within the browser window or our container. So if I have a number of items, I want to distribute the available spaces evenly, I can use the Fluxbox model. And parent-child relationship. When I say parent-child relationship, it is like a relationship between the container and the items or the child elements for the parent element. And we can change the flow of content like horizontally or vertically easily. We can change the order of items we are displaying. For example, I'm displaying three items like 1, 2, 3. And if I want to change the way I'm displaying those items, I can easily change with the CSS. So a typical structure of a Fluxbox container will looks like this. So this is let's consider this is the entire container. So we will have a lot of items inside the container. So it will have a property called a main start and a main end, and in the vertically it is called a cross start or a cross container. We will have a number of flex items inside that. So instead of showing the demo or code, it will be difficult to explain in these diagrams. Let me show some Fluxbox properties. So display flux is like when we provide a display flux, it will get the default properties of the Fluxbox and apply to our container. So the flux direction is like we can change the flow of our items like in a column or in a row. Flux wrap is like when a number of items is not able to fit into a particular row, it will automatically wrap to the next thing. We can display in a reverse manner as well, and we can give no wrap as well. So it is based on our needs. So justify content is like placing the item in a particular container. So it can be in the start of the screen, or it can be in the end of the screen, or we can place it as a center. Flux grow, flux shrink, or like increase the size of the flux items. And as I said earlier, order is like displaying the number of presents in the UV. So without much talk, let's get started with the demo. So for that, let me show some code. So I just have a empty HTML page here. I'll just start putting some content. So for that, I will use Emmet to generate my code quickly. So what we are going to have is like a maybe I will put a style sheet here itself. Like instead of switching to another window, we can have our style sheet here itself. So what we are going to do is like we will create a container. Inside that container, we are going to have three rows. For that, I will create a div with the class name called container. So I'm using the help of Emmet to generate my code. So you just Google it, you will get to know what is Emmet if you are not aware of it. So I'm going to display like create three divs under a div called container. So I'll provide class name for this. It will be box one. For this div, I will have this box 2. For this products box 3. So we'll put some content here using some lorem kind of thing. So some random text we'll be getting from Emmet. So I'll just save. Once we save, the window will refresh here. We have lower maybe some textures here. What I'm going to do is like I'm going to style my container now. I'll put container. I'll put some padding if needed for 10 pixel. So once I save, it will automatically reflect here. So what I'm going to do now is like I'm going to display the property called flux. I'm going to display it as flux box model. So once we save it as flux, we will see the response here, right? Earlier it was displayed as a row, now it is displaying as column. So what we can do is like to see the difference, I'll provide a border for this container available inside our container. It will be like border section, some color, solid. So we are seeing some border now, right? For the next thing, what we can do is like check the flux size. So I'll get the property of the box one now. I think we don't need this padding code. It looks good. For box one, I'm going to like we need 3 box, right? Box 1, box 2, box 3. For this, I'm going to give it as like a flux 2. For remaining thing, I will give it as a flux 1. As I said earlier, like it will automatically adjust the space available in the screen. If we reduce the screen size, it will automatically shrink or grow automatically. So for this also I'm going to give it as a flux 1. So once we save, we can see the difference. Like for box 1 we have a property called flux 2. So it took 200% extra to compare to other box element we have. So we are seeing a called a display flux. We can change the flux direction now. So we can display as column and see what is happening. So as we said, like earlier it was displayed as row, we are displaying it as column now. Just comment it out, we don't need it. Next thing, what we can check. For this, you can see it is displaying in a 3 line, but the space is available where we are displaying in 2 lines. Flux automatically aligned these spaces. We can check how the things happening like that. So I will do align items stretch. By default it's stretch. If we saved, it's not going to change anything. Now I'll make it as a flux start. So once we save as a flux start, we can see the element at computer here itself. So what if we save it as a flux end? It will like start plotting the HTML elements at the end of the container. So stretch is the default thing. What if we make it as center? So it will automatically plot value in the center based on available spaces. So we don't need right now. So I'm just explaining this property. I will just delete this thing as well. So now it is getting back to the normal thing. Let's take the order now. For already designing some lorem ipsum, so I'll just put another content to differentiate those things. I'll put Superman here. I'll put a Spider-Man. And who else do we have? I'll put Iron Man. Let's complete with the Man itself. So we have Superman, Spider-Man and Iron Man. So I want to change the order of displaying this thing. So I'm not going to like what we will usually do is like if I want to put the Superman in the another place, I'll copy this and put it in another place. In Flexbox model, we don't need those things and all. I'll move the Superman to the third place. Okay, and Spider-Man I will move to the first place. For that I am using the property called order. For Iron Man I will make this guy into second place. So once we save, the Superman should go to the last. Let's see. Cool. It's went to the third place, and it's in second place, and it is in first place. So based on the property order, it's displaying the values in the Flexbox container. So what if we already gave like a flex direction here, right? Row, column. So let me do the same again. For that I'll do like right now it is row. Okay, so it's not going to change anything. So what if I give us a row reverse? What it will do is like whatever the order we have right now, it will just reverse the flow. So now the Superman is back to the first place, Iron Man is there, and the Spider-Man at the last. Okay, it's look a little bit odd here. Like we can put some padding again to our div instead of plugging to the container. I'll put padding as a 20 pixel. So it's somewhat displaying the values at the center. So to explain another property, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create another container. So now the container name will be like a second container. We can do the same process. Second container. So I need a 3 values inside this. 3 div. I'm going to provide this class as second box. I need 3 values. So I have 3 divs inside my second container. I'm going to put a load again for my text. So let's save it. We again have 3 rows here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it as second container. I'll put a second container as a display flux. Let's see. Yeah, it's there. So what I'm going to display here is like I'm just having a 3 divs. I'm displaying side by side in a row. So here for the first row we made it like off the screen to Superman, the remaining screen to the remaining 2 divs. What if what if we want to display a space between here or at the end? How we can achieve that? For that I'm going to like add another property. So right now we have a common class for the second container elements. So it is a second box. So I want to display space between these 3 elements. So what I'm going to do is like before that I'm going to provide some flux basis property. What it will do is like will assign the space. So once I give 25%, it's having a plus base equal to 25, 25, 25 something. So instead of a space at the end, I'm just going to distribute the space across the items in this container. I'm just going to use the property called justify content. Justify is like it will stretch the content, but at the same time it will provide some spaces. I'm going to put it as a space around. What a space around will do is like it will create space in the front of the element as well as the end of the element. We can able to give us like a space between. What a space between will do is like a start of the element will be the start of the container and the end of the element will be the end of the container. it will create a space between the elements only. So we can able to create a lot of grid systems based on our needs. I want to display a little bit amount of space between them. So if you want to change the space, you can put it like 20% here, flux basis. So it will create the spaces based on that. So we can create another set of container element to check the wrap property of a FlexBox. So again, I'm going to do it as third container. It's going to have a third box. I need a 3. So I'm 3. So here I'm going to have same textures. Okay, instead of having 3, let's have some 6 values so that we can have a lot of divs. So I'll just copy the same set of elements and put it here. So we have sections. Let's make it as a odd number so that we will have see some difference. So right now we have 5 elements. I'm just going to create the same set of things. Just copy this thing and put it as a third container, and now my third box will have some flux basis of 25%. I'm just increasing this just to make sure like my element will overflow. So what I'm going to do here, I just need the same line here, third container div. So right now we have 5 elements. It's evenly distributed. So we have a huge number, it seems. So let's reduce it to 50%. Not showing right. What I'll do is like instead of a space around, I'll put as a flux wrap. To wrap the items, we'll use a flux wrap here so that it will wrap the elements to the next row. Yeah, it's there now. So if you didn't give a wrap, it will like put the values as it is. So what if we reduce this? It will automatically reduce the values and move to the next thing. For first 2 rows, whatever we do, it remains the same. For the last row, it will automatically shrink the values and move to the next row based on that available flux wrap. For flux wrap, we can also have like I'll just reduce this screen. For flux wrap, we can also have like a wrap reverse. What it will do is it just reverse the elements displaying inside the container. So what are the properties we have seen? We have seen display flux, flux direction, justify content, flux wrap, flux basis, and order. So that's all as of now. You guys try out this and let me know your feedbacks in the comment section. So hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you subscribe to this video and keep supporting us. You can find us in various medium in the website called efficientuser.com, as well as you can follow the official account in Twitter. So keep supporting, and thanks for everything.